Yo, hey, how's it going? It's Kevin, Big K Horror, and I just kind of want to do. Actually, I was inspired by someone on YouTube here to do a ranking of my favorite Friday the 13th films. So I'm going to do the first 8 Friday the 13th years, you know, the Paramount years, and rank those. So I'm going to quickly go through this. Out of all of them, the very first one I'd say that is my favorite would have to be the original, very first one, you know, starring the killer Mrs. Voorhees as the killer. This is my favorite one of all. However, moving on to the Jason films, this is how they rank. I'd have to say my first favorite of the sequels would have to be Friday the 13th Part 4, the final chapter, featuring my favorite, more menacing Jason, played by actor Ted White. Alright, next up is the awesome classic slasher sequel of the franchise, and that is Part 2, which introduced Jason as the killer, his modus operandi for revenge against his mother, plus the sack head disguise he wore was fucking very awesome in my book. Alright. Next up, this was the first Friday the 13th film I ever saw as a kid in the late 80s, before I saw all the others. And Kane Hodder did play, this was Kane Hodder's first role as Jason, and along with the special effects and the suit he wore and everything, it was probably the best looking Jason I've seen. And that would have to be Friday the 13th Part 7, The New Blood. I love this cover. Alright, next up, my next favorite Friday the 13th is probably the trashiest of the bunch, and that is Friday the 13th Part 5, A New Beginning. I love how simple this cover too is, very simple but very awesome as well. Alright, next up is an entry that was hard to place because this actually goes higher up on my list, but thinking about all the other reasons why I like the ones I just mentioned previously, I guess this one belongs on this spot in this list, and that is Friday the 13th Part 3, 3D. See, I find this one very classic as well, like Part 2 and Part 4, but it some of the others I think take precedence over this one. Alright, so down to the last two. The second to last favorite of mine would have to be the one that was the reboot that injected humor, again the horror, some new ideas about involving actually children at the camp, plus it's dripping with moody gothic southern atmosphere, and that is Friday the 13th Part 6, Jason Lives. And I like this one a lot too. Alright, last but not least, out of the first 8 Friday the 13th films, it's no shock which one this one is, Jason Takes Manhattan. Although I love this VHS cover as well as the other I Love New York poster for this movie. This is probably the weakest link of the first 8 Friday the 13th films, but I find this one to be absolutely fun and kind of like a cozy film to watch. Okay, so there you have it. That's my ranking of the first 8 Friday the 13th films, the Paramount years versions, and as well as, I do apologize, I did not involve Jason X and Jason Goes to Hell in the remake in this, but that's only because I can tell you that Jason X would probably be on the bottom of the list for just how silly it is. Jason Goes to Hell doesn't feel like a Friday the 13th film to me, as I mentioned in my recent review of that, and also the remake is really hard for me to place right now, so I don't know where I put that at. Anyway, so that's my video on that. Tell me what your ranking is of your favorite Friday the 13th. You know, the first 8 or all of them, whatever. Anyway, peace out. Bye.